hot one out there, Alana. Normally we look at St. George and go, oh, how do those people survive? But Salt Lake City, over triple digits,
Scorcher today.
Yeah.
We hit 100 the century mark. We were like, we see you and raise you. We went 101 for the high.
I felt every bit of it.
I think I did too, and we may be able to do that again tomorrow. So if some like it hot, and if you do, that's okay. We're going to see those conditions.
We accept you.
Yes, and we will cool down, and we have a little bit of cooling for the folks who are maybe over the summer heat. It's been quite a bit quiet with those gusty conditions, the high heat, and very dry. Great shot tonight. How dynamic is that? Little moody coming out of Sandy. Thank you, Dawn. I love the clouds embedded in that southwest flow. Look at that from Mark down in Cedar City. So from north to south, we saw that mid-level moisture funneled in. Yet our red flag warnings persist because we have not seen any precipitation. We'll look at how dry we've been, but with our red flag warnings, I should note that they've been extended. That was the newest change today. And as we look, that's going to be for the south central, eastern, and central portion of the state. That will be in effect until Friday. The West Desert and the Wasatch Mountains underneath that red flag warning until tomorrow night at 9 p.m. So fire concerns are not going to go away. And we anticipate that as we get closer to the weekend, they'll hold on, but the winds will ease a little bit, and we could see some of those warnings lapsing. Great shot coming from Payson. Monica sent us this one. Oh, the moonrise with the cloud cover. Pretty shot there. We talked about how we hit 101, our fifth triple-digit day of the year, 100 in Green River, 101 in Moab, 90s along the I-15 corridor, topped out at 107 in St. George. So the heat was on in Washington County, even with clouds streaming through the area, mid-90s in Cache Valley. Average this time of year in Salt Lake is 94. We were above that. We'll continue that trend for tomorrow. 80s when we close out the news, still very mild with partly cloudy skies. We'll be clearing into the overnight with mid-70s off to the races tomorrow with those 70s, some hazy sunshine, but we are going to notice that sunshine is going to heat things up pretty quickly, especially with the help of those southwesterly winds, something we've been battling throughout the work week, and that continues heading into tomorrow. Fairly clear skies to start with moisture streaming in on our Black Desert time lapse in Ivins. They topped out at 105. Didn't stop folks from hitting the course and getting out. Goodness gracious, they're a little braver than I am. There's that cloud cover in the last few hours, hitting the West Desert, pushing along the Wasatch Front and into the central portion of the state. See a little green there towards Uinta County and Castle Country. Maybe a pop-up with some instability this evening, but with dry air at the surface, gusty winds, the only culprit. Check out our camera on Nelson Peak. This is the Oakers, and you're actually going to notice some progress when it comes to wildfire smoke. We clear as we make it through the day. Still hazy, wildfire smoke still visible, but a lot better than where we were yesterday and this morning. Our Futurecast smoke model shows those fires burning in Southern California getting caught in our southwest flow, and we get that haze as we head into our Thursday with the winds persisting. You're going to notice by the afternoon, Monroe Canyon starts to impact areas around it, and of course we could see that smoke spreading into southeastern Utah due to those wildfires in Arizona, but we will see haze along the Wasatch Front. Not anticipated to be terrible. Moderate air is expected for the Wasatch Front and back in northern, eastern, and southern Utah. We've been forewarning you about air quality because if you feel those changes, you've been feeling it for a little while. Let's talk about how dry we've been. Our Futurecast dew point, which is a good indicator of how much moisture air can hold, stays very dry. For the close of the work week, that dry air mass throughout the west impacts us into the weekend and even early next week. This matters. It feels like it's been a while since we've seen measurable moisture, and it has. The last time Salt Lake picked up any precip was 33 days ago. Logan, Cedar City, and St. George, actually 15 to 17 days. So these areas saw some measurable moisture between June 20th and July 22nd. So the 20th to the 22nd, the last time Salt Lake saw it, the 4th of July. Not good news there. That lines up with the Futurecast because we're not going to see wet weather here. You start to see, there we go, a little bit of moisture on the state line, and that is with our cool front. I'm calling it cool because it's not cold. It's also not going to bring moisture, but it will change our temperatures, and you will feel that change. Southwesterly winds ahead of that upper level low dipping in from the Pacific Northwest, sending that cool front through the Beehive State, flattening the ridge, allowing for a northwest flow, and that will knock down temperatures a little bit. Now our high retrogrades, and as it does, we'll will take over the west. As we head into next week, we're actually going to see the heat building back, but we get a few days with some cooler temperatures. 6 to 10 day looks hot. Not great news there. Precipitation looks dry for a bulk of the Beehive State, and we've been dry. We could make it to mid-August with no precipitation, and that's not great news. Regional forecasts going for triple digits tomorrow with the help of the winds ahead of the cold front that comes through in the evening. 103 in Moab, 107 again in St. George. As we look at the next 7 days, you see hot, dry, and windy conditions with temperatures above the average of 101. Here's the Wasatch Front. We're going to go triple digits tomorrow, and then boom, temperatures down to the 80s. That cold front comes through. Cool front, if you will. I think it's cool. A day in the 80s is kind of a win for a lot of folks, especially after the heat we've been having. Dry for the next 7 days. It comes in and you're like, thanks for the cooler air, but you're also like, can I get a photo? You're kind of cool. Stick around for a minute. That's what I think.
You think it's cool and you're not fronting about it.
No, I am sure not. Wasatch fronting about it.
Wasatch
No kidding.
Front.